Welcome to How to Start a Board Game Company. I'm Jay Cormier with Off the Page Games. Now, wow, this week has been crazy busy with regards to Off the Page Games, in a valley and peaks and valleys of emotions as I went from the amazingness of getting 3 drafts this week of the final art for the game from Matt Kint. And I got to tell you, it's just so cool working with someone like Matt Kint, who's so creative and wants to really take advantage of this board game medium in ways that kind of haven't been taken advantage of in ways before. And just to see, I have my head, certain ideas of how things are kind of going to look. And every time I get something back from him, I'm like, that's way better than I couldn't have even come up with that. So that's fantastic. So it's a true great collaboration. So I'm going to show some of the new art, but I'm also going to take you through the process of, because I uploaded them all to get my samples. And I know I talked about samples in a previous video where I kind of plotted it all out. And I want to show you the differences between the two, Board Games Maker and Print and Play from Mad Magic. And I think that might be very valuable if you're in this part of your company, board game company, is trying to get samples. These are two of the biggest ones. Game Crafter is the third one. I talked about that in a previous episode where it didn't work for me because they didn't have enough customization of specific sizes, so that's fine. So let's take a look. So if you remember from my previous episode, this is from Board Games Maker. These are all the prices for the quantities up here, 5, 10, 20, 30, and I'm not sure how many I was going to get when I started doing this. 10 to 20 was my thought. So these were like aspirational. I did these thinking that I'm like, oh, they might be achievable, but no, it's way too expensive. So it's between Board Games Maker was around $63.45 each, if that's kind of how you looked at the game. Whereas Print and Play for 10 was around $71.59, but that was with the 10% discount from IGA. Indie Game Alliance. So I'm like, wow. So I decided based on this, I'm going to go with Board Games Maker. So let me take you through my experience of going through Board Games Maker, because it was great and a couple frustrating things to a point where I couldn't do something. So some things were super easy to do, like just ordering any type of unit, super easy. Just click on it and how many do you want, boom, and it tells you everything. It's great. So all these were great. Getting the cards, let me show you how they do. It's maybe even easier with the tokens. Let me show you the tokens, how they do the tokens. Because this is so user-friendly, ridiculously user-friendly. You upload your images into this little library right here, and then you just drag them into each of the specific numbered tokens. Boom, 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 boom. And then you have an opportunity to add text over top of each of these if you want. Like, that's kind of cool. I don't have that need. Cool. Then customize back. So I had to write down what was in each one, but for number one, what do you want on the back of number one, of tile number one? Boom, 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 boom. And then even if you screw it up, you go to again, you can add the text, but you go to the final thing, preview, it shows you every single tile. So here's the front and back of this one, this one, this one. This one has a different back, so that was important. And then these ones have a white and then a red back. And then these were extras because there were so many tokens on this thing. I'm like, I'll just get extras made, I guess, of some of the tokens. So it was super, super easy. Let me show you even some of how the cards worked as well. Very similar. So it's very easy to upload. It's loading. Okay. And we'll go to the cards, edit. Same exact thing. Upload them here. And you drag them into here. You can go in, kind of move them around, but it even knows if your art is landscape and it needs to be portrait, it'll automatically make it into the portrait mode. It was like super user friendly, absolutely user friendly. Look at all this art. I'm not going to zoom in here, but you can just see how cool it looks. I don't know. I'm just so pumped about all this stuff. It looks so cool. And so I'm telling you, this site was super easy to use. I've probably said that 5 times already. However, I have one problem, and it was with the making of the board. And I did email them, but it was on the weekend, and I'm like, I have to get this out. So here's what happened with the board. So it creates a custom site. So I'm like, yeah, okay, cool. I think it's going to do a needs flash or something work. Let's see if it, no. So I have flash, but I have to allow it to, okay, allow it, reload it, sure. So it does a flash thing for some reason for the board. So the board looks great. This is the board. You might have seen this before. It's fine. And I did it based on all the resolutions here that they wanted. 7212 is the minimum resolution at 300 dpi. Um, yeah, and sounds great, but only as a fluke. When I came back, for some reason, I decided I'm gonna let me zoom in, and when I zoomed in, I'm like, what is going on? This is ridiculously crappy resolution. And I thought, oh, maybe it's just loading graphically, and it never shows me that it's loading. It never. I sat here for a long time thinking, oh, maybe it's just loading into. But I can't send this to the printer thinking that this is going to be fine. This is terrible. And so I don't know. I didn't know how to solve it. I couldn't look up any help anywhere. They didn't have, the only helps they have are videos, but nothing about resolution. Like if I look at this as a JPEG and zoom in, it's totally fine. And I know it's probably easy to say this is a user error, but in this case, I don't think it is. Well, I mean, it could be just something I'm not familiar with, but I adhere to the resolutions and everything, so I didn't know what to do. So I had to go on to Print and Play, Add Magic, and see how they worked. And so so I ended up getting it. I actually had to go through Add Magic. So one of the benefits of this one is it allowed me to do a printed bottom, which is really cool. So can I just click and go through these now? Let's see. Is it taking me? Oh, it's not taking me mine though. I see. But it allowed. Is it? No, it's not. It's going to another one. But it was pretty. It was. If you had used any of their sizes, this wasn't my medium box. Yeah, I went with this one. If you use their preset sizes, and they have a ton of different preset sizes, you can go through. There's a whole templates download here. Let me just open that up here. They have tons of templates for you to download. So that's an example of what they are, but here they all are in on one of these types of formats. So all the different size. So if you're using this one, it's only if you had a custom one, then that's where it starts to get tricky. But let me show you how making cards was very tricky, because for cards, oh, here's the screen. This is a nice little preview. This is two of the screens, because that's the size of their printing. So I'm like, well, I get two. I might as well print two on one page, save some money. So that was kind of nice. Got two on there. So anyways, that's that. But let me see if I can find. Oh, this is a good example. And I have to turn on these bleed lines so you can see what I'm doing here. So this is the template you download without all the tokens in it, and this is 70 tokens. And so this was a lot more challenging because they tell you this little tile token equals this token, but oriented this way. If the top is that way, then but if the top is this way, oriented this way. And because of how they print the front and the back of this. And so I had to lay this all out myself and make sure that things lined up and did the right things. And I did this in a funky way, even though I originally put everything together of and printed, I think I was able to print up to 4 sets of tokens that I need, like for 4 games worth of tokens on one thing. It was great. And unfortunately, or fortunately for me, I kind of figured out, I'm like, hey, wait, where's the bleed and what's the cutoff? Because I looked in, I'm like, I was assuming that the green was the cut and then the blue was the bleed. And so that's kind of what my thought was. However, I noticed that it says down here, that's the green is the text save area, but the blue is the trim. So I'm like, the blue is the trim. So that's going to be an issue if you had like a pink one up against a different colored one, because then there might be extra pink on one or extra gray on one. And I'm like, oh, that's not good, because especially for these tokens, these are the step tokens. They need to be uniform, because there is one that can be something else. I guess I shouldn't say it's a secret thing, but it's important that they're known. These were great to put next to each other because they're all yellow, so that was fine. I could have maybe put these together, but they would have overlapped, and so it just would have looked different. So I had to space them out like this. So I'm going to lose all of these tokens in here. These little weird things in here, I'm just using the insides of. That's a special treat secret coded message for the reviewers, see if they can figure that one out. I figured I got some extra space on that. I'm gonna print a couple of those out. It's me being goofy. And I guess that's the same for the cards. Is the same. You have to put the dot lines back on, and you can see it's the same kind of thing. They do put the front and the back on the same template, but you have to line it all up yourself. And I had to, resize everything and kind of make sure, zoom in and make sure everything was, nothing snapped into place. On that Board Games Maker one, everything just snapped right into place. You just dropped it in. It was great. I had an extra, oh, these aren't cards at all. These are tokens, like to your character tokens. But similar thing. Cards are the exact same way. So a lot more work to do this one, but it ended up being fine. Where is, can I go to my orders and review again? There was some things that were way more expensive. I can view. And some things were cheaper, so I ended up spending $1,237 to get 661 items apparently. And so the box, so I got 15 is what I ended up deciding 15. Next week, I'll go through the reviewers and talk about which reviewers I'm going to send it to and the plan for that, which I guess I got to work on this week, which is what I have to do. The board, I had a 6-piece folding board. This was a nice summary, so you could just see, it's got a printed lid, printed bottom. That was important. That took me a while to understand that one, because I actually sent them an email saying, what's going on here? But it's only the bottom of the bottom box that's printed, not the entire sides. There's no sides for the bottom, but the lid is the lid plus the sides. So that's kind of good to know. It tells you if you got an insert or not. I decided for no insert for this one. I have a 6-piece folding board, 24 by 24, which the final one, mine's going to be 22 by 24, but it does not allow different rectangles. It would only allow a square on this site for some reason. And this is the small secret board, and I asked if they can add a UV gloss coating because I said I need to be able to dry erase on this. I think it's fine with just the gloss laminate that you can dry erase on it, but I'm asking for that, and we'll see what they say. Cards, there's the way they do cards is they do 18 at a time in their template, so I had to order 2 sets of 18 cards for 36 cards, which is perfect. That's exactly what I needed. Yeah, really perfect. Like, worked out really nice. And then I found this plastic flat white chip. Let me open this in a new tab. And I thought this was perfect for these mental note tokens. They're just these kind of just a flat plastic token. And I just thought, and there's a kind of thing, 1.25 inches. They're plastic, so they'll be dry erasable. I think that'll be better than a cardboard token. So I'm pretty happy and excited about that. And just different clear stands for the tokens to go into. The deluxe won't need any of these stands, and the cardboard tokens, they're going to have nice chunky wooden people. Little baby meeples. I got 180 of those. The dry erase markers, I was surprised by this. They were like $2 each, and it was like on the Board Games Maker. I can't show you. They were like 50 cents each. I'm like, that was a big difference in price, but whatever. And the tokens, the square tokens, and the rectangle tokens for the things, and boom, boom, boom. The discount, that's for my. I signed up to Indie Game Alliance. Boom, I'm now an Indie Game Alliance. I had to go and look. I'm like, Indie Game Alliance, print and play. I get 10% off. Boom, that was pretty nice. So already, I'm almost fully. It's almost already paid for my subscription already, so it's great. Shipping was expensive, but I mean, what do you expect for 15 board games? And it's international, so it crosses borders. So now I gotta wait 6 to 15 days, and that's kind of yucky. I hope that's not business days. I hope that's just days. 2 weeks is okay, but 3 weeks is now getting yucky. And regular credit, that's annoying. Please pay. I could have paid by check. Dang it. Insurance, I could have chosen not to, but that seemed risky. And then I did this, file check and picture proof. You pay $12.99 and you get a file proof of everything. And I said, yeah, I'm going to do that because then I can zoom in and check out all the resolutions, because you can't do that as well here in this one to see what it's going to print like. So, this is nice. It gives you a review of all the files. So there's the upload of those. There's the character tokens. There's the cards. And they had to be this way. and it didn't auto snap to get, like, I had to rotate each image and plop them in. It was just a lot of manual work. It took me like 4 hours last night just to upload everything into this thing. So do note that it does take time to do all this. Um, hmm. And those are the screens. And there's the box top. Where's the box? Oh, what are all these? I don't know what all those are. Where's the box bottom? There it is. It's weird that it doesn't show in this little preview, though. Now I'm getting worried. Huh. Oh, it's not showing these ones here. Why is it not showing those? Board custom. Well, it's a good thing I paid the $12.99. We'll see. That is weird. Now, this is the first time I've seen this. I wonder if it didn't upload or something. I don't know. Anyways. It's showing all these things being uploaded. Well, we'll see, I guess. But that's making me nervous. So that's what I've been doing this week. It was great seeing all the art, and there's a lot more art that I can't show yet because it's part of some of the secret envelopes, including comic books that Matt Kint's made. And when I thought about it, I'm like, hey, I'm the only person on the planet besides Matt Kint that has read a new mind management comic. I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. That's me geeking out. So hopefully that was helpful to you. And obviously, I have some more questions to follow up with Print and Play. But yeah, let me know what your thoughts are and have fun. I'll see you guys next week. Bye-bye.